Thanks for tapping in to Undiscovered Gems. Let's chat and jam. MC Andrew Love back on your screen and your speakers one more time. A lot of people don't understand, but I just want to say thank you for tapping in and just checking us out. Undiscovered Gems Radio on Live 365, as well as Undiscovered Gems, the radio show on the Block 105. Shout out to everybody that's been tapping into us. But we're back with another season of Let's Chat and Jam. And of course, our very first guest, no, she's not our first guest ever. She's our first guest on season 2, episode 1 of Let's Chat and Jam. That's right. Her name is Beth, and Beth comes out of Detroit. And Beth is one of the best female vocalists I have ever heard. And I mean every minute of that, folks. This woman here got skills, and I'm digging the vibes. And when y'all hear her music, folks, she got a new joint, man. The last time we interviewed her, she had a song called Got Next with Swifty McVeigh, who's the dope art. Oh, man. Swifty, you were the shiznit, Swifty. And I love D12. All right, never mind. I'll keep going. So anyway, the last time she was on my show, she had a song called Got Next with Swifty McVeigh. Shout out to my brother Swifty. And then I was like, oh, my God, she can't. This is dope. Yo, where the she been all my life? Anyway, so listening to that, she got a new song out, folks. She got a whole new project out. But before she did that, she did some backgrounds from my man Evrod Cassimy. And he's out of Detroit as well. He's a news anchor out there, folks. A news anchor making music. What? And this brother here got skills. But Beth did his background vocals in that song he did. And then she came out and did her own verse on his remix. You know. That's the song called You Know, folks. If you don't know, well, now you know. So Beth was doing the background on the first version. Then she did her own little part on the second version, and so did Swifty. And it was a dope song. And then she came out with another song called Kiss of Life. Beth has been busy. Oh, not only that, folks. I don't even know. I should probably ask her these questions, but I'm going to tear it down. I'm just going to give you all her accolades. She's been on tour, folks. Beth has been on tour, man. She's been touring with Kem and Babyface and the OJs. Beth has been doing it for a long time. And it's her time to shine now, folks. And that's what MC Andrew Love is here for. Let's Chat and Jam is created for. Undiscovered Gems. It's because Beth is a gem. She's a rare gem. She's one of a kind. See, the thing I love about Beth is she took everything from the best of everybody she's hanged with since she was a kid. She sucked the air out of these people. I'm talking Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston, that's her hero, by the way. I should tell you that. But you know what? I could keep going on and on and on and on. And I just sound like a broken record. But, the accolades never stops for Beth because she's that dope. So without further ado, folks, let me bring in the one, the only, from Detroit, Beth.
MC Andrew Love, thank you. Listen, you are hilarious. I love to watch it. Your energy is infectious. Thank you so much for having me back on your show, season 2, episode 1, right?
That's right.
I was listening. Thank you so much.
Season 2, episode 1, right here on YouTube, by the way, folks.
Yes.
So if you guys been looking for me, especially your assistant, Ron. Ron is like, hey, MC, you haven't been making any videos on YouTube and you haven't been posting anything lately. What's going on? What's happening, bro? You all right? I said, yeah, I'm fine. I just decided to do it a little differently. And then StreamYard came. And StreamYard got so much better than the last time I tried them out. But StreamYard is one of the best platforms for interviews I've ever been on. Okay. I love them.
Well, you got me on StreamYard with you today. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming through, man. I appreciate your time. I know you're a busy woman. And you could have been anywhere else you wanted to be. Matter of fact, you are somewhere else. But we'll talk about that in a few moments. But before we do all that, let's just talk about you. What have you been up to? I know I've already read down your itinerary and where you've been and what you've been up to this year. Because the last time we spoke, the pandemic just started easing off. Mm-hmm. And we didn't really get on the road yet. and now you're on the road, and now you're really out there touring, and you're performing.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me, what is it like to be out there after the pandemic?
Well, it's a little, I don't want to use the word scary, but you're very cautious because you know that venues are open. You know that, as they say, outside, everybody's outside now, but you still have to be careful and cautious of how you move in the places that you're in, because there's still sickness, out there, and everybody is just trying to be cautious, and no one wants to get COVID. Even if you had it before, you don't want to get it again because it kind of stops you from working. And we experienced that for 2 years. Nobody was working, But the top of the year, I think January, February, I started out on tour with Kem and Babyface and Sherry Shepherd, hosting and opening the show. That was a great 26 city tour that we did. And before that tour was even over, I got an invitation and a call to submit my photo and my music to Eddie Levert, the legendary Eddie Levert of the OJs, because they were prepping and planning for their tour, which is labeled their final tour. There's no end date to the tour, but they're wanting to start to tour now until they get tired of touring. But this will be the last tour that they do. And they wanted to do something different and add some female vocalists in that can sing and dance. I got picked. That's funny because I'm not a dancer, but I love to dance and I love moving around on stage. So that's been a great thing. So I've been on tour with them since June. I think we started in June. I had a couple weeks off from Kem and then started right back with the OJs. And then in the midst of that, last time we talked, you knew there was a new album coming. So we were trying to prep and prepare to release the second album. But even before I did that, let me see, I'm trying to remember. I released a single with Blair Bryant, on the smooth jazz genre. We did a remake of Sade Kiss of Life. So we did that in between there as well. That was a lot of fun. Shout out to Blair Bryant. It's on his Red Tiger album.
Shout out to Blair Bryant. Yeah, by the way, folks, that song too is on rotation at Undiscovered Gems Radio. So make sure you tap into that.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun recording that. I met Blair, who is Najee's MD, working with Najee. I work with Najee from time to time and have been able to just get to know his entire band, work with them and tour with them. I toured with them the latter part of 2022. 2021, I think. Last year. Yeah, the end of last year. I'm a year off. I'm a month off. I'm a day off all the time. But we toured last year, the end of last year, and just got a chance to know them and to introduce me to a smooth jazz market, which I loved, which was cool because when we released the song, there were people who had seen me with Najee. So now we're just preparing for the release of my second album, which I'm really excited about. It's called Get to Know Me. It'll be out September 30th. And we're just really excited. We worked a long time. We worked hard on the album. We worked during the pandemic, and we tried to be productive and creative on that project. I love every song on there. It's like I have 12 children because it's 12 songs on the album. And the producers are exceptional that are on there. Two producers that were from my first project. So Cordell Walton was on my first project, and he kind of spearheaded that first whole album. So we kind of reversed the roles this time. Marcus Divine was on my first album. He had one song, and now he's spearheading the second album. And then Cordell Walton, because he's music director for Charlie Wilson, he's on the road with Charlie, so it's hard to pin him down a lot. He's got like 4 or 5 songs on the album. And we brought in a new person, Kenny Flav, who works very closely with Queen Latifah from Queen Latifah Flavor Unit. He's an incredible producer. We brought in a couple more writers, some more background singers. So we did something a little different this time, but we still kept my same vibe, but we put a little bit more edge on it. And we wanted to just tell great stories and give great melodies and give bridges and give hooks and great beats. And so I'm really excited about that. So September 30th, Get to Know Me will be out.
Get to Know Me. Mm-hmm. September 30th cannot get here fast enough, folks. I'm telling you that right now. So that song, Let Me Be, that's your first single off your album.
And that comes straight from Kenny Flav. And he brought that song to me. And I remember one day we were all in the studio. It was Cordell and Marcus and I, and we told Kenny. Kenny said, you know, I've been knowing Kenny for a very, 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 very long time. And so probably about 20 years I've known Kenny. And we've just been friends, and he knows what I do musically and I know what he does musically, but we've never been able to just get together and do a collab. And we've talked about it many, many times. So finally for this album, we just got to the point where I said, okay, Kenny has a song, or Kenny has songs. Let's see what he has. And he came up here one day, and Marcus and Cordell and I gave him the studio, and we just told him, just play stuff. We're going to sit outside of the studio, and when we hear something, you know, we'll ring the bell, you know. So he went in the studio. He just started playing different tracks that he had done. And when the track for Let Me Be came on, I jumped up. I said, that's the song. And it was like, Marcus was like, oh, what is that? And Cordell was like, whoa, what is that? So we all immediately heard it and loved it. So we started yelling like, Kenny, that's the song, you know. So he came in and he brought an incredible writer with him named Hope Rainey. And she co-wrote on the song. And he brought in another co-producer, Carnell Smith, and we came up with Let Me Be, and I love it. And we all decided that should be the song that we proceed with.
Well, I might as well tell you, man, Let Me Be is a real cool song.
Thank you.
Your assistant sent to me the song because I really wanted it. And I said, please send me the songs. I need to hear them. I need Beth's music in my life.
Oh, thank you.
Let me just say something. You age like fine wine.
Thank you.
And your music is like Chardonnay. It's always smooth.
I should show you this bottle sitting right here, but I'm not.
Is it what is it? Moscato?
This is so bad. We're in an interview. I'm not supposed to be talking about liquor. It's a beverage. It's a cool beverage.
And we can't talk about them because they're not paying me. So they
that's
can't
right. So I
can't go there.
It's fruit juice. It's fruit juice. Yes.
Hey, I love fruit juice.
Yes, we all do.
Yeah, I like fruit juice that doesn't make my blood sugar go high. So there's really no fruit juice that I can drink.
You won't be drinking fruit juice, right?
No, I'm not drinking fruit juice. Right. I drink a lot of water.
Yeah.
But I just want to say to you though, Beth, your new single that you got, Let Me Be, is really nice. Your vocal range is mind blowing to me. And how you blend your sounds together. And you go in and you do these harmonies and these runs. It's just really impeccable.
Thank you.
In what it is you do.
Thank you.
And not everybody can do what you do. Not everybody can sing. I mean, yeah, it's learned. Right. Obviously, you just showed me right now that some of the tricks of the trade are taught.
Absolutely.
And you could learn how to do things like that. But you, on the other hand, Beth, are just like one of the best that I've ever heard. And I'm honored to have met you because I feel like I'm staring at a superstar. That's who you are to me, as a superstar. And you deserve to be on so many more movies, billboards. You have to be out there because you are that good. You are that good. And folks, you got to listen to me. You got to know what I'm talking about. I know talent a mile away when I see it. And Beth is probably one of the most talented ladies I've ever met. And she does it effortlessly. Come on, folks. You have to listen to her music.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Oh, did you want to add something to that before I went on and pull your head up some more?
You said effortlessly. So I'm like, whoa, wait. I mean, I think with anybody with a gift or talent, you're born with the gift or talent, but that has to be cultivated. And then you have to want to do the work because it's not going to come easy. I'm sitting in a beautiful room right now, which happens to be my vocal teacher's room. I take vocal lessons. So there are things that I was born with that I could naturally do. And then there's some stuff that I come to her and I'm like, there's a note that I can see in my mind, but my voice is not trying. So she'll help me do that. She helps me with stage presence. She helps me with the thought process of me performing a song. I worked with my vocal teacher, when I was on The Voice. there was a break when I came home, and I brought the song that I needed to perform to my vocal teacher. And I was like, okay, now I have to perform this song. And it was, I Put a Spell on You. She actually worked with me with that. And, you know, you have the coaching from the show. You have the coaching from the coaches on the show and John Legend and the other stars that are there. But I just felt like I needed to be coached by somebody who knows me and knows my thinking and how I process information. So she got with me and helped me mentally break down a song, because people have to understand, when you're singing, you're telling a story and you're somewhat acting. So you can't just stand there, you know, with no emotion and no movement and tell the proper story all the time, although sometimes you can't. But when you're singing, people need to feel the emotion. They need to feel the joy or the pain that you're trying to give. And they want to hear the story that you're telling. And so I came to Shirley and I was like, what do I do with this? And she really broke that song down. And even though I did that song and I got sent home, maybe is that Shirley's fault because I got sent home? No, but I did but she helped me perform the song, and that song is on my set list now. I perform it all the time because that she helped me connect with that song, and what she taught me helps me connect with everything that I do. So
well, you said something to me earlier. You said had you would have won The Voice, you would have been kind of like caught in a contract.
Yeah, stuck is the word I use.
Yeah, stuck. Yeah, stuck. And but coming out of that, you had a new set of fans that never seen you before, and they're like, "Wow, this lady here is talented." And now you have a fan base that just won't quit. And
I appreciate it.
It's like your fans know what they want to hear from you. Now, see, I love Got Next. I think that's one of the best songs I've ever heard from you. There's other songs that you came out before that are more contemporary. Mm-hmm. And this song here, Got Next, was totally out of the box for you. It was like out of left field.
What do you think?
Well, for some of your fans, they would think it's out of the box.
So one of the things with Beth is that Beth is going to, on this next album, show you some other sides of me that people don't really know. My first album, I didn't really know what I was doing. So I was like, okay, let me just find some songs that I like that I can sing. My second album is more so, let me show the different places my voice can go. Let me tell some stories about Beth that people don't know. Let them know a little bit more about me and get inside of my private circle or my private area. So that's more so with Got Next, I love hip hop. I love rap. I love West Coast rap. That's my absolute favorite. Like Snoop is my favorite rapper, the Dog Pound, and you know, I love all of that. I listen to hip hop music all the time. I don't even listen to singing most of the time. I'm listening to, I don't even want to say, can I say what I listen to? No? Yes.
You could say it. What do you listen to?
I listen to like XM radio a lot because like LL Cool J has a station and I listen to his station.
Rock the Bells Radio. Shout out LL Cool J.
Listen there all day, every day. You know, so when people hear me sing or when they meet me, they just don't know that there's that side of me. So Got Next is really more like me.
So you telling me that the Beth that came out before Got Next was more like an actress? Like you painted a portrait for the people? Kind of like they did with Whitney Houston. When Whitney Houston first came out, she was everybody's favorite child.
Absolutely.
She's our next door neighbor.
Right.
A next door neighbor you would love to have.
But she was that too.
And to you, she was that because that's your hero, and you're supposed to say that. But to me, from an outsider looking in, when she married Bobby Brown, that told me everything I needed to know. This girl here is not your average next door neighbor.
Exactly, and that would be me too. You know, I'm exactly the same way.
Are you trying to tell me, Beth?
Yeah.
Out of all people, you trying to tell me that Got Next was Beth?
Yes, Beth is a tad bit sophisticated. Yes, I am.
Sophisticated. I like that. I'm going to use that from now on. I'm stealing that from Beth, and I'm going to use it.
Well, no, I'm going to tell you where that came from. That came from Everard Casimir. He has a song called Sophisticated.
Sophisticated.
You have to look it up.
I got to
So
tap
that
in.
ever since
Is it out now?
Oh yeah, it's out. He said that word to me, and we laughed one day because I said, "Wait, I'm sophisticated," and he was like, "Yes, you are." So that's me. So Got Next is very much me, but I'm very much free. I'm very much. I just want to be your girl. I'm all of those things. I'm a melting pot. There's a whole lot of me.
I can't wait to see what's coming up.
A little bit of all of that.
I can't wait to see you in movies, man. That's what I want to see.
Thank you. I received that. Thank you.
I want to see you in some movies with Denzel, maybe even Samuel L. Jackson.
I would love to.
Morgan Freeman, he could come out for a show for a little.
Call him, Andrew. Call him.
I'll give a call to Forrest Whitaker and tell him that you need to be put on that show. That he's Harlem.
Oh, I would love to be.
I love that show. I watch it all the time. Even if it's on reruns, I still watch it over again because I love Forrest Whitaker. And I love Harlem, and I would love to see you play a role in that. Even if it's just a role where you're walking by.
Mm-hmm. Now I gotta have some lines. Come on, we got to think big. I gotta have.
Well, lines. You could be on the stage performing at one of the scenes.
Yeah, that would be dope. Yeah.
Yeah, you could.
I got the little Cotton Club hair right now.
It all works out. Yeah, here's a real important question for you, Beth, that I've been thinking about since I had you on the show.
Okay.
What are some of your greatest achievements since you've been making music? And what achievements would you like to make before you retire?
Ooh. So I think some of my greatest achievements, first and foremost, is being able to stand on a stage by myself and deliver an entire song without passing out, because I had extreme stage fright to start with. So the fact that I'm able to stand up there as a solo artist and perform and be okay and to smile and to sing the songs that I like with my band, that to me is my biggest accomplishment. I think next would be that I have to date now completed 2 solo projects. I think that's incredible because I remember, again, going back to the stage fright, I was too afraid to even get up and sing. So now that I know that I can sit up there and I can sing and I am an artist and then I have released music, that. I think also meeting Whitney Houston. She's my favorite singer. And I never thought that I would ever be able to be in the same room with her, cross paths with her, work with her, any of that. So that was something that was on my wish list at the top that I didn't think was going to happen, but it did. And fourth, I think actually being happy with myself and my life right now. I think that's really major. That's a big accomplishment. There's so many people walking around living their lives and they're not really genuinely happy. And I'm in probably the greatest place in my life that I've ever been. So I'm extremely happy. I'm bubbling over for real. And I'm just looking forward to meeting more legendary artists because I've been able to do that, which is mind blowing to me, that the legendary artists that I get to be in their space. And it's like, it's just being divinely orchestrated for me to be around these people, to pick up little nuggets. Like I'm working with the OJs now. That's something I never even thought about, just never even. And I'm literally sitting up here watching them, night after night do these routines. And I'm watching Walter, 79 years old. He's still dancing and singing. And then Gladys Knight is on a lot of shows with us. And then I get to watch her. And I'm like, what is happening? So I'm like, okay, God, thank you. That means I got 30 more years I can be out here, So I'm so excited for where I am in my life. And I think just like getting here to this place is a great accomplishment for me, because I know there is some other ways it could have turned out. And I probably would have been real upset and mad at myself. And I just determined a while ago, I didn't want to be mad at myself. I wanted to be happy with myself, and I was going to do whatever I needed to do to be happy.
Well, I'm happy that you're happy. And I think it's only for our benefit that you're finding yourself as an artist. And it's to our benefit because you really know what you're doing. And the fact that you said to me just now that you were nervous about being on stage and that you felt like you would pass out because you didn't know.
I didn't feel like I passed out before. Let me make that clear. I I have hit the floor. It's like, call 911. This girl down. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
See,
And
I wouldn't have known that. I wouldn't have known that by the videos I watch of you performing in front of people. I wouldn't have known that. Oh, God. So you know what? I see that you're in a nice studio behind you. You got a keyboard in the back. You got a nice chair. You got all that good stuff back there and a microphone. I see that. And in the beginning, you said you were there at your vocal coach's place.
Yes.
And so
Shirley, and she's sitting right here.
Shirley, I have to shout you out because you taught Beth some you gave her some icing on the cake. You wrinkled out some things. Unwrinkled some things.
And look what she has on.
The Got Next t-shirt.
I said, I'm going to wear this today. It's a special.
Well, that's good because that's the song I met Beth on was Got Next.
Yeah?
Yeah, and it's one of my favorite songs.
Mine too.
I love that song, man. Yeah. It makes me want to get up and clean the house when I hear it, man. Because I know I got next. So I'm like, well, I'm going to clean this house real quick. And then I know my wife going to get home and I got next.
Oh, come on. I got you.
That part.
I'm picking up what you're putting down. Okay.
Yeah. So that song has a double entendre. It's not just about, got next on a job or got next because I'm about to make a Grammy real quick. No. It's got next in life.
Yeah.
I got next, man. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do.
Yes. And that's a great thing.
And how you say that you're happy when you're on stage, you're happy when you're singing, you're happy in your life. It's funny to say that because I'm happy when I'm talking to people like you. That's where I get my most happiness and my most comfort because I'm talking to someone who's so talented and so entertaining and so real.
Okay.
And it's like, I love people who make music and I love music that's good and it's positive. So, Shirley, I have to ask you, how did you meet Beth?
Up here. Was it up here? Marcus. It was Marcus Divine. Yeah. His office is right across from mine. And it was just there's a vibe up in this studio. So when you meet somebody that has the same kindred spirit, you're just gonna connect. And we bumped into each other by way of Marcus. And when you don't really remember all the details of when you first met.
I do. I was sitting in there and I told him I wanted a vocal teacher. He said, you need to meet Shirley, but you had not been up here. And it was one day you came up here and you knocked on the door and that's when we met and you handed me your pamphlet. And then
I remember it now.
We were just starting to work on a project. So yeah.
And wow. And listen, she's a fixture in my life now. Literally. And I can feel her energy when I come on campus and I'm like, my boo here. My boo must be here.
And she will say that. Is my boo
here? I'll peek in the door like, hey, is my boo in there? But Beth is such an amazing artist to work with. I have worked with a lot of singers, and she by far is one of my favorites because of her receptive nature. She listens. And it's so hard. The hardest person to help is someone who thinks they already have it and don't need your help. That person I can't teach, but that's not Beth. She's far from that. She's open, she's receptive, and then she works her work ethic. This one right here, this was the hardest person working in. This one right here, she's one of the hardest working vocalists that I've ever seen because she's constantly on her grind in every way. Her reputation is stellar here in the city and abroad. Everybody says the same thing about her. She's amazing. She's a beautiful person. That's what I told her. I said, you're a beautiful soul. She's a beautiful human. And she doesn't try hard. She just is.
Like effortless.
Yes.
Yes. It's the truth what I said earlier. So you just painted it right there. You just hit the nail on the head. Yeah. When I said effortless, you're like, pretty much. That's it. Yeah. That's Beth for you.
That's what she is. She gonna give it to you straight, but she always finds a way to deliver the truth and love. Now she's not just gonna cut you with razors unless you need them. but honesty, transparent, and true, authentic. That's Beth.
That's dope. I'm digging the vibes.
Yep.
Well, I want to thank you for coming on the screen.
Thank you,
That's
sir.
right.
Thank you.
And I'm glad that she was in your studio at the time, because it gave us two worlds.
Yeah.
It gave us a world of the person who's making the music and singing to the world of the person who teaches it.
Yes, sir.
And
Thank you for having me.
I want you back on with your own. Matter of fact, we could come up with a panel of vocal coaches
Okay.
on the show.
Love it.
Yeah, because I can interview up to 100 people. So you can like bring up other vocal coaches that come on the show, invite them out, and we can talk about war stories.
That would be so much fun. I have so many.
These have so many. Ooh, me first.
That'd be a separate show, and it'd only be designed for people that teaching vocal coaches.
And it would be great for artists to watch that kind of show to find out certain things that they need to stop doing.
Yeah. So if you have any advice for some young artists that are coming up that want to do what Beth is doing, what would you tell them?
I would tell them to make sure it's really what your heart desires, because sometimes we say we want something, but we don't want to put the work behind it. So I would say, make sure it's what you want to do. And if that's what you want to do, then roll your sleeves up and get to work and stop whining and complaining about what you have to do to make it happen. You just got to get in that kitchen and work. That's the truth.
It's a lot more work than people.
That's it. We make it look easy, but it is not. And it's about consistency. A lot of times people, you can have a great gift, a great talent, but you're inconsistent with your being on time. Your timeliness, it sucks. You're not prompt. So guess what? You have a bad attitude. We don't want you back. We're not calling you back. No. You can be gifted, but your character is what keeps you on the gig. It keeps you being rehireable. So those are the things I would say to that young artist.
That's dope. Beth,
seriously.
If you got some advice you want to give to this young folks that
thank you, Andrew.
Want to do what thank you for tapping in. That want to do what you're doing. You have any advice for them?
Yes, I do. And I would piggyback off of what Shirley said. First, make sure this is what you want to do. The worst thing to do is to start a project, tell everybody you're doing it, and then don't complete it, or decide it's too hard and you give up. Do research before you get started to see what the average time is for somebody to even break out as an artist. I think people have been jaded by social media and they think, let me just post this video and then I'm going to go viral and somebody's going to discover me. It doesn't work like that. I've been watching people on social media for the past couple of years, putting out exceptional videos, getting thousands of views, and they have nothing recorded. They have nothing out. So do your research, make sure it's something that you want to do. And then second, surround yourself with people that can nurture you and teach you, and be a sponge and be open to learn. Don't get around people that know and then you're trying to tell them what all you know, what you've done. Go in there humble and learn. There's some things that I've done that I don't even talk about to people when I'm in certain rooms, because that's not what I'm there for. I'm there to learn. I'm not there to talk about me and my experiences and things that I've done. Always be coachable, always be eager to learn, and invest in yourself. I think that right there is major. People like getting my voice lessons, like I gotta pay her. Invest in yourself for getting better and getting stronger. And then once you have those tools together and you get you package yourself together, you can't be denied at that point.
Digging the vibes. Well, I want to thank you for coming through, Beth. It's been really cool, but I know you got things to do, so I know you got to roll out soon. But before you go, can you tell us about that song, Let Me Be?
Yes, one of my favorite songs. It is called Let Me Be. It is the single from my upcoming album, which is titled Get to Know Me. It will be available September 30th. You can go now to my Instagram, Beth Always Sings. Click on the link tree and you can pre-order my music. Now you can pre-order the album. And we want as many pre-orders as we can get. So yeah, I'm excited about Let Me Be. It's got a good R&B, good throwback, good love song, good beat, good melody. I love it.
I love it too, man. Let Me Be. I heard it. It's really nice. And I love your harmonies in there.
Thank you.
I love your harmonies, man. You have one of the silkiest voices I've ever heard.
Thank you.
It's smooth. And you got a natural talent and a natural gift that only God has given you, and you use it very well. You utilize all these gifts that God has given you and all these avenues that He's opened up for you. You utilize them all, and you continue to utilize them, and that's why you're doing so well in life. It's because you're following what God has set forth for you. And that is dope, and I'm digging the vibes. And since you've been here, this is the second time. Time you've been on here, but I've reached out to you. But next time you want to come to the show, if you ever think about me, you can reach out to me in my DMs, and you can say, hey, MC, I got a new song that I got going out. I got a new book that I wrote, or I'm in my new film. I just got casted in my next film. Whatever it is you're doing, Beth, it's important to me, and I want to know about it.
Thank you.
When you tap into me, I'm going to definitely go into my calendar, and I'm going to pencil you in, and I'm going to say, deal, you in the show, let's go. But that's how easy it is when you in the fam, Beth.
Yes.
So thank you for being a part of the fam.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
I'll tell you something, folks. Beth is one of the best artists out here, and she's available on all streaming platforms. You could go to Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music, YouTube, Deezer, Pandora, iHeartRadio, Napster. The list goes on and on and on and on. That's where Beth is at. So you have no excuse why you can't go to your favorite streaming platform and tap into Beth. So this is how it goes down, folks. You're going to go listen to Beth, and then before you get to Beyonce, you got to go to Beth first. So if you go in alphabetical order, you're going to hit up Beth, and then you're going to go to Beyonce.
That's right.
That's how it works. So, folks, I ain't lying when I say Beth is dope, but don't take my word for it. Go find out for yourself, because when you do, you're going to really be happy you did. But for those folks that are listening to us on Undiscovered Gems, tap into the song Let Me Be. It's coming up right now, right after this. So everybody, coming up right now, I'm going to play the song Let Me Be from Beth right now.
Right now.
All right.